You only care about football every 4 years. You buy the bright England shirt, you shout your mouth off at the telly in the local pub, and then the tournament ends and you completely forget the sport even exists. You might think you're a fake fan, mate, but you are definitely not alone. During a World Cup or the Euros, the whole atmosphere in our yard changes completely. Lorry windows have flags clipped to them. Drivers are huddled around smartphones in their cabs during tacho breaks, and even the blokes who normally hate sports are suddenly tactical geniuses in the canteen. It is not actually about the sport itself. It is about how your brain is wired. The World Cup is a psychological masterpiece, and there is a brilliant scientific reason why you suddenly become a massive fanatic for exactly 1 month. Humans are hardwired to belong to a group. Back in ancient times, we survived by sticking together in tribes, and the World Cup creates a temporary tribe for you. You wear the team colors, you sing the songs, and for a few weeks, you are part of something much bigger than yourself. It gives your brain a massive sense of safety, but without any long-term commitment. You just visit the tribe when it's convenient, and then you safely go back to your normal life. Think about how rare this event actually is. It only happens once every 4 years, and psychologists call this the scarcity principle. When something is rare, our minds automatically assume it is incredibly valuable. If the World Cup happened every single weekend, you wouldn't care nearly as much. The long wait builds up a massive amount of hype, and your brain marks the event as special. You feel like you cannot miss it, because missing it feels like missing a major historical moment. That fear of being left out is what pushes you to turn on the telly. Your entire social environment changes during this month. Your mates are texting you about the matches, the blokes at the depot are arguing about the referee, and even the transport manager is smiling. This is called social contagion. We naturally copy the behavior of the people around us to fit in because being left out of a global conversation feels physically uncomfortable to the human mind. The World Cup is also a perfect story. Your brain absolutely loves a good narrative, and this tournament has everything a blockbuster film has. It has clear heroes and villains, massive underdogs fighting against giants, and shocking plot twists. You don't even need to understand the offside rule to get completely hooked on the human drama. You also catch emotions from other people very easily through special cells in your brain called mirror neurons. When you watch a stadium full of 80,000 screaming fans, your mirror neurons start firing. They make you feel exactly what those people on the screen are feeling. You feel the chest tightening tension of a penalty kick and the pure explosive joy of a last minute winner. You might not care about the team, but your brain absolutely craves the raw chemical rush of the emotion. For many of us, the tournament is also a powerful time machine. The sights and sounds of a major tournament trigger warm memories from your childhood. Maybe you remember watching the '96 Euros with your dad, drinking cheap lemonade in the garden. Your brain releases a massive flood of dopamine, the reward chemical, making you feel happy and safe. You aren't just watching a football match. You are visiting a simpler time in your life when you didn't have to worry about bills or tacho hours. But there is a very common psychological trick we all play during these tournaments. It is called the bandwagon effect. We naturally want to associate ourselves with success. When the team is winning, we wear the shirt with pride and say, "We played brilliant tonight." But when they lose, We quickly distance ourselves to protect our self-esteem, saying, they were absolute rubbish. I knew they'd bottle it. It's a harmless way for your brain to feel like a winner without doing any of the graft. Sociologists have a special term for the feeling you get when a crowded pub erupts after a goal. They call it collective effervescence. It is the powerful, almost spiritual bond that happens when a massive group of strangers all share the exact same intense emotion at the exact same second. You feel completely connected to humanity, and it is a remarkably rare psychological experience in the modern world. Real life is incredibly complicated, mate. Right and wrong are very hard to define, and we are constantly divided over politics and money. But football is beautifully simple. There are clear rules, there is a referee, and there is a clear winner and a loser. Your brain loves this moral clarity because it is a refreshing break from the confusing problems of the real world. So here's my advice to you today. Do not feel bad or guilty about being a 4-year fan. You aren't fake. You are just a human being responding to some of the most powerful psychological triggers on the planet. Enjoy the temporary tribe. Enjoy the collective joy. And scream your throat raw at the telly. But remember that true, lasting connection in your life isn't built on a 4-year cycle. It is built on the quiet, consistent choices you make with your family and your mates every single week in between. The tournament will end and the shirts will go back in the drawer, but the real team is the one waiting for you at home. If this look behind the scenes of your own brain made sense to you today, drop a like on the video. Subscribe for more honest stories from the UK tarmac and proper psychological advice. And let me know in the comments, what is your absolute favorite memory of watching a tournament with your mates? Enjoy the drama, lads. Look after your tribe and keep the shiny side up. Over and out.